Mic test, mic test. Okay, welcome to week 9. Here is Andrew Luck. Limited, 6'4", 240, a little overweight. 94 throw power. Put on, instead of using the typical gunslinger 4 AP, I used quick draw, agile extender. Maybe this is glitchy. Higher chance to evade blitzes, break tackles maybe. He's already a clutch QB, so I didn't have to use clutch. And my tight ends usually catch. I had George Kittle. Running backs usually catch. I had Tyson Hill and Fred Taylor. And my receivers have, I almost did this, switch to this, because my receivers did drop a couple of big catches, deep passes. And this card is basically how I started my second week. I went from Michael Penix to this card. I updated the team. With this card, I did Taysom Hill instead of Sue. I just went back. I got Jordan Davis instead. And I didn't think Sue was doing a lot. And I thought these guys were good enough to stuff the run for the and I used Myles Garrett, power rusher sometimes, who's fairly fast. I got this card from the rank play. So I got rid of the Roma Odunze. And I wasn't really sure what to do, but I ended up putting Roma Odunze on the left. Brian Thomas seemed a lot like Roman Odunze, so I put him in the slot, kept Cheetah on the receiver. Line is the same. And then I got Taysom Hill and Fred Taylor. I wanted to change it up a little bit with Luck and Penix. And so I put on running back Apprentice. His route running, this guy's route running is a little bit better than Fred Taylor's. And so I thought he could make a difference. They're about the same speed. And then Fred Taylor, he's a little bit faster to run in single back versus the Jonathan Brooks. So it was kind of an improvement of D tackle. I didn't think was so important. I also added this cornerback and moved Champ Bailey into the slot, so I had an upgrade here, 90 speed, and this is the best corner with 92 man, 82 zone, 88 zone, and Night Train Lane and Champer in the slot, cornerback position. Basically switched to all Ripper except for Clay Matthews, who had Slim Club. I also upgraded my linebackers. I didn't have enough money to upgrade this safety. There was a card I maybe thought would be good. I didn't have enough coins, so what I did is I got Jerome Baker and Devin White. These guys are 90, 89 speed. Divine Diablo is the slowest at 88 speed. And I thought maybe I'd use the 3-4 more in red zone. In the red zone. So Wasn't sure, but it was an upgrade. And then Taysom Hill, Jonathan Brooks, I put in short yardage, goal line, but a lot of times I use Fred Taylor. Clay Matthews and Brian Burns were pass rush specialists. And again, I used Patriots multiple defense. And with the multiple defense, it has the 3-3 cub and has the 3-4 and the 3-2 dime, which I ended up using. Usually use 3-3-2 mostly. Okay, so let's go see about gameplay. You can see I'm at 88 overall, 35 level. Here, I did not get Jordan Poyer. I'm still in Legend because fairly good player. You see, I got 24-28 loss here recently, but I won one playoff game or two, and then I lost in the divisional playoff game for Jordan Poyer. Here, it's just really a good practice mode. I don't like this mode so much because it shows plays, but here it doesn't show plays, so I play this more. I've got 13 games so far, up to silver. Mud Champs and the Gauntlet seem to be the most competitive. Here I'm 6-3. But usually I go Mud Champs most competitive, this one practice mode, and then I just play this occasionally because it shows plays. I don't play it as much. And then, of course, if I want for the MCS, I go in to play a friend, all Madden, retire event, play a friend, and I did do the MCS Unstoppable Challenge and ended up, I was about 500 again. I won a few more games than I lost and made it to the second week. And then this time it was different. It was single elimination bracket. So I lost my first game and ended up finishing 257th. Not really top 100 player yet. I'm thinking about going into here and playing, trying maybe to reach top 100. The thing about reaching top 100 is it's a lot of games. Some people have already got 100 games. And so is what I'm thinking maybe of playing 100 games and trying to reach the top 100 to see how I do. But 100 games is a lot for me, and it would be 4 games a day. It expires in 26 days. So yeah, playing 4 games a day um, would be more than usual. I don't like the grind. People call this game can be a grind. Anytime this game becomes a grind, I do not. I just I wouldn't. I play for fun. I don't really get into a grind. I think that's my limit right now. Is or goal maybe to reach top 100. Since I did rank 257, I'm up there to maybe get top 100 if I played enough games. But with this MCS, I played maybe 15 games, and I got ranked 257th. If I was good, I could have. If I was a little bit better, and that's a big if, maybe I could get rank 75, 85, and I would only have to play 20 games. It wouldn't, here I'm talking about playing 100 games to get into the top 100, where maybe if I do the next MCS tournament, I I can get in the top 100 without playing so much. And that's kind of my idea right now is if I'm going to get top 100, maybe MCS is better to do. And because I don't play very much or enough, I just playing 4 games a day. I just don't think I'm going to be able to do it. I got other things to do. And it may seem like a grind to do 4 games a day. So, I want to go over a few things in practice mode regarding situational football. The game is always changing a little bit. The thing I want to see about a little bit is to go over is this 3-4 because I did upgrade my defense this week to 3-4 so that may have to do this again. To use this crossfire blitz in the red zone, it's a good changeup on my defenses, but it's one this loop blitz. People talk about the loop blitz. Oh, I call it wrong
70
play.
Timberwolf.
Yeah, and so some people talk about skill gap, a learning curve. There is a learning curve to this game, as you can see.
Panther 60, Panther 60.
It's not plug and play. I don't think this game's plug and play because it doesn't cover what it's supposed to cover. That cornerback it bites on the hook.
Come on, set.
And so in order to
Hot.
play this game, you have to make adjustments or you just aren't going to win very much. A lot of people don't like to make adjustments or learn the adjustments, and so it isn't a plug and play game right now. There has to be a learning curve, a skill gap, some sort of. I guess I would say a learning curve is in everything. Everything has a learning curve, but there may be a skill gap because people just don't want to make adjustments. And if you don't make this adjustment, obviously you're not going to do good at the game. You're not going to enjoy the game.
Ready.
And I even forget to make some of these adjustments even before in practice mode. So I go 5 yards hook. This is not necessarily 5-yard hooks, but you can adjust hooks and these where the hook you can adjust zone coverage. Auto balance, I always put base, and that's what I prefer, and option defense, conservative. So that's one adjustments I make. Okay, so I go into my loop blitz, and I go on. And here's how I kind of played the loop blitz. I would be one of these guys, but here. So now I got flats on the safety to cover the run in red zone maybe. I put the middle linebacker on this flat. I blitz. Okay, so let's see if my loop goes in. I'm gonna loop blitz to the left. Yeah, it's going in. And this loop blitz you can do different ways, but as you can see, nobody is blocking that middle linebacker right there. And so that was the plan for week 2 was maybe to do this loop blitz in the game. I didn't end up doing. Okay, so now I'm going to try it on the other side and make sure. I don't know. He may. Yeah, he's dipping that one.
Ready.
You can see that the quarterback doesn't have much time. I'll do it one more time and try and stop this. There's different ways to do this. Oops, I didn't flip it. Flip it. So now I'm gonna pretend like I'm blitzing, but I'm gonna get the somebody throws Nick. Ooh, maybe
Ready.
if I press. And we'll try and get him not to throw to that route. Yeah. Okay.
Here we go.
And this
Set.
is I'm on the Xbox. If this is different than the PlayStation a little bit. So there's different ways to run this loop blitz, and people obviously have different ways. But here, I made the middle linebacker cover the middle, then I covered the flat. So here the loop blitz goes in. This game, so this game can be cut. If you like football, you can just mess around with this game. It's just it is such a yo-yo toy, right? So my outside linebackers over there, I did press, but they don't press. They just like, and I covered the flat. And this is a tough thing to do. This is advanced defense, right? Um, because as I can show you, if somebody doesn't know what they're doing, then they can just bomb. You can see how when I was on offense, I just bombed the slot fade.
Set. Go.
But now they're throwing there.
Set.
Yeah. So let's make sure let's do not pass it over here.
Go.
Bingo. So this was my plan, one of my plans to do during the games. Now I didn't know what was going on in the MCS. I didn't know it was single elimination. I thought that I was going to get to play maybe. I didn't know it was bracketed. I didn't know I made it that far. I did an MCS a couple weeks ago, and I played maybe 7 games, and I made it in the top 500. So then I played the next week, and I got ranked. I didn't get ranked very good, but I got to play the next week, and I got to play maybe 10 games the second week. So this week I thought I was going to get to play a few games, but it was single, and there wasn't even a loser's bracket. I thought maybe there was a loser's bracket, but there wasn't. It was just a single elimination, best 500 players, and so and I lost my first game. I didn't really have a chance. Ended up ranked 257, but I did do this upgrade to add some linebackers to play this. I had 90 speed linebackers. They don't have a good change of directions, so I couldn't really play man coverage with the linebackers. But I usually put Jerome Baker here in the cup. People I didn't get Isaiah Simmons, but people are getting lurk artist on their linebackers. I had Clay Thomas, and I could use Diablo, but I usually use Clay Thomas. He's pretty decent in coverage and in blitzing, but I prefer to have blitzers. In this, some people prefer coverage linebackers. I prefer blitzers. A lot of times I use Brian Burns. We call
Here we go. Here we go.
and basically this was kind of there's just you can get creative with this defense. 3-3 Cub, but I have those linebackers. They're kind of decent coverage. A lot of times,
19.
I don't know what the heck's going on. Why don't they? But I go to this cover two. I blitz, as you can see, 6, and then I just play sort of cover 2. Let's see what they do here. They should be. Let's see what they got. Yeah, there you got into the law. I didn't use cover 2 very much, but cover.
Ready, set. 60 Bison. 60 Bison.
Kind of show blitz, and I can adjust the flats, but usually I have 4 guys blitzing, and sometimes I can put all of them blitzing, and then I just have this. But the linebackers are this is the problem right now with this game. There's lots of problems with this game, and it's the linebackers. You got to have maybe
Ready up.
depend on what you want to do. Lurk artist if you want them to cover people.
Ready, ready.
The problem with you waste the lurk. I think one of the problems is you waste the lurk artist on them, and they have bad change of direction, and they can't play man coverage, and they aren't very good at man coverage. So I don't waste lurk artists with them yet. But as you can see, I mentioned this a long time ago with this game.
Let's go now. 19 Lion. Check go.
If you don't make an adjustment on defense, if you just play the computer, it's still doing this. It did fix it. It's not the pump. It's not like the pump fake glitch, but I have to play hard flats. One thing
60 put.
I think is what it is. See, they're trying to cover it, but
Come on. Set. Warrior 70. Ready.
and this is uh,
Ready.
a big. I guess it would be makes me think it's not a plug and play game because they would not allow that cornerback should play off, plain and simple. Let's see if I go hard flats. Now, if I go hard flats, my guess is the cornerback's going to cover it. Yeah, there. so
Ready, ready!
is the what this is why chess is the best plug and play game probably, and Madden is not plug and play yet. So I'm at 25, 26 minutes. I think I've covered everything I need to cover and to save. So yeah, the advantage, I guess, one of the other advantage of having this defense, multiple defense, over some of these other defenses is it does have the 3-4, which if I get into the red zone, I can switch up and do a loop blitz. If they can try and pass on the 3-2 dime. It takes a little bit more advanced adjustments, but it works really, really good in real life and in the game, I guess you could say. It's very more realistic, but I had rip on these here. I haven't had much, really, the selection right now is bad for players. I maybe go over personnel more, but really speed, I got 90 speed on these corners, which is good. Safeties, this guy has 92 speed. Was kind of important. If you're playing somebody and they recognize a player and they know, for instance, if I would have went out there with this guy, Amani, who I won, and they know this guy only has 88 speed, well, if I just had this guy out there on the corner, then they would just maybe somehow get it to put this guy who has 93 speed, who has 93 speed, and they'd run a streak, and it would be very, very possible to get a touchdown with 88 speed cornerback. So that was that decision making and why speed is kind of important right now. These linemen, I would say um, strength is important. And here, of course, with this quarterback, I just decided that 94 throw power is good enough to not have gunslinger. And it's funner. The game is funner with the halfback apprentice to me. Uh, Having this guy and the routes with halfback apprentice, it made the game a little bit funner. So I just thought, and still even now I'm playing more games because it's funner with this team. I get to use some of the routes with my offense. Makes the game a little bit funner. So any questions? Any questions? Otherwise, um, pretty much nothing else to go over. You can see I'm overall 88, level 35. I just recently got some lucky cards, so I was down to 0. I was down to 15 for the MCS. I spent all my coins and my fear. And season 3, I think, is pretty bad because I haven't used any of the season 3 cards. I have what this fullback may be cool, but I remember this guy in real life, and he was just a power runner. He probably isn't very good at blocking. He couldn't catch. He couldn't block. This guy I don't know much about, but he isn't very fat. I don't think he's worth the coins. I did use this guy, his tight end is slow, and Dawkins is good, but he's like 87 speed without a theme team. Yeah, so I've been saving my season 3, maybe for next season 4. Questions, comments, please. Anytime, I guess, and I can answer or review them at some time.